Hey everybody, good day. It's Carpo. I'm doing the second, kind of an addition to my video a while that I just finished, but there's some very, well, confusing subjects in this world, but one of them is water. I've talked to people about water memory and exactly what water is. You know, water has three phases that we know of, you know, a solid, a liquid, and a gas. And I just watched a documentary a few days ago about fourth phase water. And I'm very curious about this. It's new to me, and I'm just finding this out, so I don't know anything about it really other than what I've learned in the last few days. But that your body processes water in perhaps a much different way than we realize. That water crystallizes in it takes a different type of form in your body, that the molecules of the water are arranged in a different pattern, such as say H2O2 or H3O3, where we have these long chains which can form these various useful parts for the body. In other words, the way I see it is your body frequency is using water and crystallizing that water at a resonant frequency that allows your body to utilize it for what you need. So, to kind of put it in a nutshell, you don't just drink water to stay hydrated. That doesn't make sense to me. It never did. What does hydrated mean? I've heard of people going for years without drinking water. Breatharians who haven't eaten. One guy claimed he didn't eat for 65 years. And they locked him in a room for 2 weeks and found that he didn't eat at all. And he was just as fine when he left. You know, and the people who don't drink water, it makes me wonder, you know, what is it that we think we have to be hydrated for? Now, it's obvious if we're exerting a lot of effort, then it's important to stay hydrated. But the question I have is why? And what does water do beyond what we know it does? And this documentary, they were talking about the joints of the body and how the scientists were having a hard time understanding exactly how the body can function with a skeleton where the bones are so damn close and they don't even touch. Most people, if they think what I thought, just assume that, well, they're just cushioned by, you know, tendons and ligaments and that kind of stuff. Well, that's true. But those ligaments have to be held strong. And the theory is that these water molecules arrange, I guess, in that area that it's needed in a particular arrangement. Perhaps they're controlled by the cells or the, you know how stem cells will program themselves to whichever area you want them to be in. If you put stem cells in the heart, they will become heart cells. So why couldn't water do the same thing? And why couldn't the cells direct the water? Think of the cells as water herders, you know? And on top of that, what even amazes me more is the idea that the body doesn't just use water for hydration, the body burns water. And this is why when you drink a big glass of water, you get energized. It's rehydrating you, sure, but your body's able to utilize the hydrogen and the oxygen. And perhaps you're able to burn that hydrogen. You know, the combustion of a body is just like the combustion of an engine. It's the same thing. It just happens at a different rate. It's just like an explosion of a stick of dynamite. It's the exact same thing. It's just a chemical reaction. And I'll tell you what gets me the most is the fact that, you know, oxygen itself is you know, it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's a cancer-causing agent, and oxygen itself is not a healthy thing. We tend to think we need oxygen. We do. But oxygen, when something oxidizes, it breaks down. The rust breaks down, or, you know, that's what rust is. It's oxidizing metal, and oxygen eats up things. And this is why when you breathe oxygen into your body, what it's doing is using that oxygen to break down the food that you eat and into usable energy. And my thought is that this is exactly what happens with water itself to an extent. And there may be certain things going on that we just don't quite understand yet. But I'm doing an experiment today because I believe that water does have memory to an extent. And I'm going to try to meditate over a 5-gallon jug of water. And it sounds silly to some, but I do believe in intention, and I believe in intention experiments are functional if either A, there's enough people involved to make it worthwhile, or B, if the person spends long enough doing it. You can't just say, may this food be blessed, you know. You have to think about the food and think about the water and actually picture it in your mind turning into something that your body can use. And that sounds like a bunch of black nonsense to some people, but that's how I live my life. The power of intention, because it's all I got, and it's the only thing that I know works. And over the years, I've had a hard time, debating with myself whether or not we really have any effect on our environment. And all the research that I've looked at points to the fact that we do. And now the most recent studies have come out saying that people who believe that they're going to heal 50% faster than those who don't. And people who intend on consuming and utilizing their foods in a better way will get more nutrition out of it. And I hope one day that becomes common sense. It's just like when you're sitting dwelling saying, I'm never going to finish this, you probably won't. And there's a lot to be said about positive thinking, but it goes beyond just having good thoughts. It goes to actual intention, making your food delicious by thinking about it. It's just like when you grow your garden and the food always tastes better. It's just one of those things. Peace out.